Everyone, today's book is called The Christmas Boot. It's by Lisa Wheeler and illustrated by Jerry Pinkney. I see lots of little animals checking out that boot. Let's read about it. Title page. Deep in the forest on Christmas morning, Hannah Greyweather gathered bundles of kindling wood. For her, this day was no different than any other. She went about her chores, she chatted to the forest. She talked to the mountains, but mostly she spoke to herself. "Brr," she said to the mountains. "Will this winter ever be over? It chills my bones." The mountain didn't answer. So she kind of lives kind of a lonely life, talking to the environment around her. Says, to me, this isn't a special day. I just have to do my chores. Her arms were nearly full when just past the spruce grove she spotted something. In the snow, deepest black upon purest white, lay a boot. "Glory be!" Hannah exclaimed to the forest. "Who could have lost this?" The forest remained silent. And since her feet were fully freezing, and since it did look to be such nice boots, she slipped her rag-wrapped left foot deep within it. Said Hannah, "That does feel nice." It surely must have, for when she slid her tiny foot into the large boot, it suddenly took the shape and size of Hannah's own foot. The boot fit perfectly. So here you can kind of see she doesn't have great footwear for walking all over the snow, so a boot is very welcome. She only has one, but just that one feels so nice on her foot, and it took the shape and size of her foot to fit perfectly. Hannah headed back to her ramshackle cabin, limping her way through the snow. Her warm left foot stepped nimbly as her cold right foot struggled to keep up. This boot was quite a find, Hannah said to the walls of her cabin. "Where do you suppose it came from?" The walls did not reply. So she's saying, "Oh, I'm pretty lucky to get this boot, but where did it come from?" As she slipped into bed that night, she stared at the boot and said, "I only wish I had your mate." Then she drifted off to sleep. So what she means by that is she wants the other boot for her other foot that was cold, still cold. "Come on, boot," Hannah said the next morning. "Time to get to work." But as she slid her legs over the side of bed, she didn't see just one black boot, but she saw two. "Glory be," said Hannah to the right boot. "How did you get here?" The boot didn't say. Then Hannah Greyweather placed both her feet into those warm black boots. They fit most comfortably. Wow. Now she's got two boots to keep both her feet warm. As she went about her wood gathering, Hannah had a spring in her step that hadn't been there in years. She danced in the spruce grove. She's excuse me, skipped along the creek bed, and even made snow angels on the hillside. Her feet felt wonderfully warm. Yeah, I imagine living in a snowy environment, boots would make quite the difference to your mood. Look at, she's enjoying the animals and the snow all around. Making snow angels. That night, Hannah placed her boots next to her bed and marveled at her good fortune. "Such magnificent find," she said to the left boot. "Who would have lost such a treasure as you?" The boot stood silent. "No matter," said Hannah. "I have made good use of you. If I had mittens as toasty and warm, I would be the happiest woman in the world." She's saying, "Oh, my feet are really warm now. If I had mittens, I'd be even happier." In the morning, tucked neatly inside each boot was a bright red mitten. "Glory be," Hannah said to the boots. "What form of magic is this?" The boots wouldn't tell. She put on the mittens and liked the boots. They fit perfectly. "If the boot is magic," Hannah said to the mittens, "will it give me more? Will it give me a fluffy feather bed, a fabulous feast, a big fancy house?" The mitten stayed mute. I suppose that's too much to ask, said Hannah. I forgot about my chores. So she's saying, wow, everything I've been wishing for seems to be coming true. I wonder what more I could wish for. In the woods that day, Hannah's feet and hands felt equally fine. She climbed the mountain trail, gathered chestnuts, and built a towering snowman. She strolled home. An amazing sight met her eyes. So, looks like she's got a lovely snowman with a Christmas wreath on its head and some animals. What do you see that she saw? I'm going to take you back a few pages so you can remember what her house used to look like. Ooh, I can't find it. Sorry. That's what her house used to look like, and now look what it looks like. Oh my gosh, it's totally transformed. Where her ramshackle cabin had been stood a big fancy house. Luscious smells drifted from the open doorway. Glory be, said Hannah to the house. How did you get here? The house didn't say. Oh my goodness, what a surprise. Remember, she had wished for that? Inside, Hannah wandered from room to room, taking in the loveliness of it all. She tasted the fabulous food. She snuggled in the fluffy feather bed. Somehow it didn't seem fully real. It didn't seem fully right either. Unlike the wonderful boots and mittens, the house didn't seem to fit Hannah. Yeah, she's saying it's very lovely, but something doesn't seem right about this house. Suddenly, there came a knock, knock, knock on the fine front door. Who could it be? Hannah asked the feather bed. I've never had company. The bed stayed silent. She opened the door cautiously. Peeking through the crack between the door and the wall, she spied a man with a very white beard. He wore a red hat, a red suit, and one black boot. May I help you? Asked the man. Hannah asked the man. Yes. I think you may have found something of mine. Hannah was happily surprised to hear the sound of another voice. She opened the door at once. Glory be, she said. Come in, you must be freezing. Just my left foot, said the man with a twinkle in his eye. Hannah looked down at her own booted feet. Yes, she said. I do believe I have something that belongs to you. So, we've got a man, you might know who it is, missing a black boot, just like the one that Hannah found in the snow. She fixed the man a cup of tea. She served him chestnuts. They talked of everything and nothing deep into the night. Now, she said, I'd best give you your boot, so you can be on your way. When the man placed his large left foot into the boot, it took on his shape, or the shape of his very own foot. He said, that does feel nice. So, remember how it was small for her? Well, now it needs to be bigger for him. And she's surprised how it could change shape like that to fit him just right, just like it fit her just right. At once, the big fancy house, the fabulous feast, and the fluffy feather bed disappeared. Even her right boots and mittens were gone. I'm sorry, said the man. No need, said Hannah. It is as it should be. The boot didn't belong to me, but I enjoyed it while it was here. Is there anything I can give you? Asked the man. What do you truly desire? What I truly desire is someone to talk to, said Hannah, but warm boots and a pair of mittens would be mighty fine. She's saying, I just like talking to you, or anyone. But boots and mittens were pretty nice to have as well. The man in the red suit winked. Suddenly there appeared a dandy pair of red boots and bright green mittens. Thank you, sir, Hannah said as she walked into the door and bid him goodbye. I will make fine use of them. Wow. So she got her very own pair, not borrowed, of boots and mittens. And she said thank you. At night, as she climbed into bed, Hannah said good night to her new mittens and boots. Arf! The left boot answered. What? Hannah cried. She peeked inside the boot. 2 eyes peered back at her. Arf! Arf! She heard again. And she reached into the boot, pulled out a wiggly puppy in her arms. Oh, thank you, Hannah whispered to the night sky as she held her new friend close, and the sky answered. So she got someone to talk to. Remember, she said she wanted someone to talk to. Well, she got a friend, a little puppy. So she said thank you to the sky, and this time the sky answered and said, Merry Christmas, Hannah. Merry Christmas. Oh. I thought that was a really lovely book. I like that Hannah was so grateful for everything that she was given. Even when she was only given one boot, she was grateful for it. But she also did something that surprised me, and I think it showed how wonderful of a person she was. When Santa said, I think you have my boot, she could have easily said, no, I don't. What are you talking about? Because she loved those boots, right? But she did the right thing, and she said, yes, I do, and I will give it back to you because I know it was yours. And in doing the right thing, she was given her very own pair of boots and mittens, and a friend too. I thought that was a really sweet story. I hope you enjoyed it as well. Thanks for reading and learning with me. See you soon.